And go. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. It's the last trading day of the week for stocks. Not for crypto, but crypto is very, very exciting today. I know Tracker is pretty excited.
I'm excited. I had an exciting time with XRP last night, wrestling it to the ground like an alligator, only
Did
to
you did
release
you
it
win?
after it bit me. But yeah, TGIF, everyone. I'm looking forward to another relaxing weekend myself, despite what all the excitement that crypto has in plan for us. So, Matt, why don't you take it away and we'll take it from there?
Yeah, so weekly candle closes are today, so we're going to look at weekly candles. And essentially, I would love all-time highs for SPY today, so that's the goal, right? Just keep on being where price is right now. Close at all-time highs, higher high, just for continuation to the 648 above. QQQ, same situation. I would love the weekly candles to close right where they are. 560s is fine. That would be an all-time high. And if so, possibly could continue to the 578.46 above. IWM also is looking like it has potential to continue to the 226. Let's see if it can get there today. Maybe not break above it, but perhaps in the weeks to come, it will be able to break above that and get a lot more exciting. I'll even take a look at SMH for you guys too here, and we can see that price is essentially it broke above that 2.618. So this has already been all-time high week after all-time high after all-time high after all-time high. So this is very, very bullish, right? So if this trend continues, then maybe, who knows, 350s could be next, way up there. This is a
Oh, hey,
very,
Matt, can
very.
you indulge me for a second?
Can
I've
I
been
do
doing the
what
same
now?
thing all the time. All right, pull back just a little bit so you can see more of the history. All right, right there. Now look at that wick and pull a fib from the bottom of the wick that we just that low. Pull from there back to that wick, but keep pulling it until the 50% fib is laying on that wick to the left. Yeah, there you go. Now keep pulling up higher until 50% sits on top of it. I know you might have to. I have to do that a lot too. Oh, you're in logarithmic. I'm sorry, that's gonna be crazy.
No, I'm in linear. I'm in
Okay,
linear.
yeah, linear then. All right, and so if you drop the 50% to the not where we are now, to the one on the left, yeah, right there, perfect. That's it. So I would imagine that this is the kind of action you might get to see going forward, where it's goes on to the. Oh wait, you got it upside down. I'm sorry. Can you flip those? Just rotate. Yeah. That's it. Reverse it. All right. So like it's basically it's going back to it rejected the 50% the first time, sent it back down, and then now it's trying to get over. I mean, it is over it again. So watch for it to go to the six, gravitate towards the 618 next, and then fight its way to towards the 786, back to the 702, and on and up and up and up. I mean,
Yep.
it's crazy how these fibs just work anywhere you drop them. But anyway, thanks for indulging me.
Yeah, no worries. And let's continue on with some crypto here. And I want to just pay attention to Bitcoin, how it's just already did a breakout back test of the arc here, and is it going to continue higher? That's still undecided. So it's still a very bullish chart, and the log-based fib. If I go to Bitcoin here and just take a look at this chart, and we can see the 1.6 or 1.414 is at 128.101. So I think price can gravitate there first before any kind of major retrace. So I think we still could go a little bit higher before lower. One thing I do want to point out, since I'm on the topic of crypto, we can talk about a few things that are doing well. One of them is Ethereum. It's breaking out above the cloud, above the 786. So whether or not Ethereum needs a retrace or not, it could go straight up to 4,000. But if it did go back to 3376, that would be an opportunity, in my opinion, if for a retrace for accumulation before trying to go higher, because that would just be a beautiful breakout backtest. So, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it's kind of entering a resistance zone, because in the past we could just see, basically, if we just drew a line right here, we can see that it's a big zone where it kind of got rejected before. So perhaps it can get rejected in this zone and come back down first before trying to break that 4,000. So I'm a little bit cautious for Ethereum here, because it's been a monster week, 20% this week, and it was up 15% last week. And then the weeks before that, it was up some percentages too. So bullish chart, but it is entering some zone where it could get stuck for a little bit of time before blasting through. Also, I'll do XRP because it's what everybody's talking about. And essentially, I'm just watching the previous 2018, 2017 all-time high and previous all-time high, I should say, and it's above it. So ultimately, that's really all I care about now. So stay above 331, 331.7, I guess to be exact, on the Bitstamp chart. There's different exchanges have different prices, but I like the Bitstamp chart. So stay above that. XRP will do very, very well. And could it go straight up to the 829? Well, maybe not, because we can switch to linear scale, and you can just see some fib extensions that could get in the way before that $8 zone. And this is going to be from the 418 up to the 529. So that's going to be your next resistance zones for XRP. So yeah, it looks like $4 or $5 is on the way, and there's really no resistance above it until then. So 331, hold that. It goes higher. Tracker.
Magical. Let's see. I'm trying to find XRP. I'm going to get to all. We're going to get to all the requests, as many as we can here. There we go. XRP chart. This is my new XRP chart. I fought with. I looked at the 618 last night and said, that's an important resistance zone for me by the fibs. And what if it gets sent back to the 382? So I traded in and out of XRP last night, and then I guess that if I'd been right, I would have made like $45,000 extra dollars by trading it down here. But instead, I lost $200 in fees and I think about $3,700 in lost ground missed in XRP. Anyway, I'm looking for now. I'm calling this sort of a 382-236 situation. It's sort of like almost 382, got sent back to 11.4, and then took off from there. We made it through the 50%, the halfway point already. So the 1236 is what I'm targeting next. $5.34. I kind of did this nifty my own little GAN experiment here. This one says $5.71 would be sort of the top of this, but I guess which would be the 1382. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, about 534, then some test back. Typically from 123, you go back to the 764, which would be 391. And then after that, the 2236 is up here at $8, $8.35. Okay, and then I want to show this one was my Bitcoin chart. I also like to use Bitstamp. It just has the most history for Bitcoin, which we talked about. And so, yeah, I'm still looking at Bitcoin. I think at minimum, it wants to go to 126,558 next. I'm sorry, I made these really tiny, but that's about right here, 126,558. Yeah, so there's still more room for Bitcoin to go. Ethereum, same thing. SBET and all that is doing so well because Ethereum's doing so well. So let's see. Matt's got a chart where Ethereum's sort of right at a resistance on his Gann chart. My fibs say it wants to go a little higher to this 382 up here. So like a 382, 236 kind of situation maybe. But yeah, I'm looking for just a little higher to the 3827. Maybe it has to go back down to the 2929 before it can break through it. And then test. What it really wants to do is test this 50% level up here at 4,568. So like regardless of what's going on now, just look forward to price has got to go to 4,568 to test that halfway point. And then it could go back to the basement for a little bit, or it could go to the penthouse after that. So usually gets rejected the first time and then makes it through the second time past that 50% halfway point. Okay, SBET. Here's my SBET chart, and a lot of people are talking about they're worried. I've been getting a lot of people asking me, what if they do another fundraising thing next week? And well, regardless of what they do, eventually, like right now, it seems like they're kind of pricing that in right now. Instead of running right up to 64.80, it's kind of stuck under my blue resistance zone here. So, just hang on to it because I think, yeah, maybe it'll dip into the blue part again, or maybe Ethereum will just move so fast. It might move up enough to get people like enthusiastic about it, right? And then it sells off, but to a higher low if and when they do announce another fundraise. But every Ethereum, every time they buy more crypto for their treasury, it just means that they're going to increase their future market cap, as long as they don't do it ad infinitum. So yeah, SBET, I would recommend just hang on to it and let it do what it's going to do. You could sell a little on the rips and buy it back on the dips. Let's see, what else do we have? I see. Well, let's let Matt talk about. I see FET, and I don't know if you want to do. Do you have other cryptos you want to do?
Yeah, I made a FET AI post last night on X, and I was just saying it's kind of ready to catch up to everything else. And yeah, I made the post when I was around 78 cents, and sure enough, it is basically continuing the journey higher. Right up to resistance, though, the 382 and the baseline. And yeah, but it has some catching up to do because a lot of things are breaking out. And this already broke back above the 200-week moving average, and even the conversion line there is around 77 cents. So yeah, I can see this continuing the journey higher. Once it breaks above this 382 and the baseline, it's kind of ready. It's ready to go up to $1, right? $1.02, $1.09 in that zone, and ready to go even higher. So just maybe a little bit more time stuck on a resistance, and then after that, probably free to go to the upper levels and back to $1. It's been a while since it's seen $1. That's basically been back in January of this year. So almost ready for that. Is there any more crypto requests here?
That Fetch AI looks like it's being held under a hair trigger to just like be released into that cloud.
Yeah. That's true. I was going to do a DFDV too, because that one, a lot of people were asking me about it recently. The DFDV DeFi development, and it's just stuck. I have 2 arrows pointed at it right there. And essentially, if that can break the 3077, then perhaps it'll start another wave higher. But I'm not convinced just yet because it still is just range bound for the past couple of months. So until it really proves it wants to break out, it could easily go back down to the 18, or even do maybe like an ABC correction and even come back down to like the 12s before trying to go higher or a little bit lower. So I'm just a little bit cautious here. It already had a massive move. There's really no point.
I have to ask, I mean, do you ever see gaps in crypto? I've never seen a gap in crypto.
Well, it's 24 hours, so it's pretty much impossible to have gaps.
What happened there in April 7th? I mean, April 6th, April 7th.
Well, this is not this is stock. This is the NASDAQ.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought that was a crypto.
Yeah, this is one of those DeFi development corps. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they do, but probably they own some stuff. Yeah, I don't know about any of these things, but a lot of people love them. Yeah, I don't really research the fundamentals on these things, but the chart is. I mean, it broke out. It was bullish, but I just can't be chasing up here because it's a big resistance zone. So
yeah, well, you guys should ask Grok and then post it in the feed here. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I've got. Did you have another one? I could go to.
Yeah,
Oscar.
I was gonna do a couple more, just MicroStrategy and MSTR, since that was the beginning. But MicroStrategy, what I'm watching the most here is the linear scale fib, and that's the 441.06. That's it. Stay above it, it goes higher, right? As simple as that. Also, it's looking at the highest weekly candle close ever today in history. So bullish, right? It's never closed a weekly candle this high ever. So this is a very, very good development. 441. Watch that. If it holds, it goes higher. Also, I wanted to check out SoFi as well because it's breaking higher as well, getting pretty close to the 886 up here, and that is 2276. So I think that could be hit today. If it does get hit, then I'm going to be a little bit cautious there at that resistance zone because it's not really guaranteed to break out of it just yet. So we'll find out. 2276, get above it. It gets a lot more bullish, all-time highs. But if it gets rejected this week, then maybe there could be a retrace in the weeks to come before it really wants to break that 2276. But this was basically a melt up and just blasted through the 786. So very bullish chart, but I'm cautious here until it proves it can break out. Go ahead, tracker.
All right, I've got Oscar on deck here. Let's see, Oscar. It's just been, for a long time, for a while here. It's like that same old adage I was saying lately. How do you make a bullish stock feel bearish? And you run it up every night and then you sell it off every day. though Oscar, they ran it up and then they've been selling it over several days here. A perfect touch of the 11.4 1368 might be what it needs to kick it in the pants to get it to go again. So that make it like a double bottom right here to there. I honestly, I got impatient with it, and I sold my Oscar yesterday before it did this, so I could buy more of these crypto treasuries. But I'll circle back to it if I need to. Oscar looks like it's primed to go up higher. It wants to go on my chart 89% higher to $26.58. So it just, I don't know what it's waiting for. News, whatever, downgrade, whatever. It doesn't. It's just eventually it will pop up. The longer they keep it suppressed, the faster it'll pop up. SBET. Did I do S? No, I didn't do SBET yet. Or it did I?
Yeah, you just did SBET.
I did do SBET. Never mind. I'm sorry. Looking through the. Oh, here I'll do you. One of my subscribers asked for this yesterday, and I looked at it again. And it's kind of at resistance now. Let's see, maybe to the 618 at $9.76, which is the first time for this, larger degree chart. Like if I go back to weeks, it's got, you have to go back to months. See, it had all this crazy price action in the past. And if you go, when I took it all the way to the, let's see, just to this high right here, February 1st of 2011. I'm sorry about my voice. Hang on a second. Sorry, I just had to clear off the camera here, off mic. And so it's just trying to get over this 0.111 fib for the first time, since it couldn't do it the first time, or actually for the second time. But the second time it should make it out, right? This is the time it failed the first time. Now it's going for the second time. Back to my 16-hour chart. So yeah, it's kind of resistance, but maybe it could break out. Maybe it'll go 764,382. Watch $9.76. If it can get over 967, watch for 1131. Either way, I think it might have to test back to 725 again. Maybe it does get rejected one more time. But eventually it will get past this 1111 and look for 1786 back to 1381, and then that goes to the 2238. Oh wait, I've got a 2618 here because that lines up with the 382 on the larger chart. So if this company just keeps doing well with the stock price, if sentiment keeps doing well, eventually it'll go to the 382, test back to the 236. And then go to the larger 50%. And, it just gets, I can't say how fast it's going to be. It's certainly moving fast right now. Okay, I talked enough about that one. I could do Cooler. All right, Cooler Technology. Let's see. Here's my 1, 2. It did make a slightly lower wave 2, but it stayed at 46, held up. So as long as this doesn't make a new lower low than 486, my next target would be at minimum 2167 for the 382. But I kind of like it for going up to the 764 over some period of time. Gosh. Yeah, it's going to fight with the blue zone here first. 1118, and then if it can get higher than 1380 at the 29.732, then it can go to the 32, which might send it back to the 236, and then blah 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 blah. So, but it's got 511% to reach the 76.4. To make to not quite make it out the first time, but then it breaks out eventually. So yeah, I like it. It just might be. Let's see. I did do this kind of thing, so. I don't know. By the end of the year, it'll be somewhere between $48 and $50 and $26. 48 and 26, I think. Just a spitballing it. All right, we did FET, we did SBET. Oh, game.
I
Go
got
ahead.
Rocket Lab because I think we missed that one
Go
up
right ahead.
top here. So
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about Rocket Labs too.
yeah, Rocket Lab is still blasting off into outer space. Ooh, haha. And we can see that the 4521 is the target to stay above, right? Initially, I was talking about this angle, and yeah, it just broke back above that angle, breakout back test, flipped to 2 support, and then now 4521. So stay above that. It kind of has a clear shot to the 6545, but it's not probably going to go there in a straight line. It might just come back and retest the 45 or so before going higher. But either way, this chart is very bullish. And I think it wants to get there. I think it wants the 65. I think it wants the 70. I think maybe even the green level up here, 86, could be a possibility for Rocket Lab sooner than later. But again, nothing goes up in a straight line. There could be some volatility along the way. Very, very bullish chart. I also wanted to just show my Archer ACHR because it's kind of breaking out now too. Right, it finally is getting back above levels that are acceptable again to continue the journey higher, and that is the 786. It's been a long time, really, since it kind of closed the candle above it. Ever since this big bullish engulfing candle, back in May, it never closed a weekly candle above it. But finally, we're going to get one, right? It is down a little bit pre-market, but that is understandable because it's just resistance of the previous May candle right here. Can't really break above. Also, the 886 is there as well, 1408. So this is bullish, right? Basically, I'm going to watch that. Stay above 1103. That's a trend change, right? Previous massive resistance flipping to support. It's going to go higher. And then after it breaks above the 1408 in the future, then all-time highs. So this is a bullish development. Finally, after all this time, and now it looks like it can break free, but it might take a little bit more time. It maybe needs to retrace a little bit before continuing higher. And lastly, I'm going to do just Zeta because people are talking about it a lot too. And Zeta is trying to finally close a weekly candle above the 100-week moving average. Is today going to be that day? It really tried so hard right here on this candle right there. I know it's green, right? But it didn't close above it there. It closed at 1511, so it did actually close below that blue line. So it really hasn't closed above that 100-week moving average since right here, since back in March. So this could be a good trend reversal for the potential to finally go up to the 1861 up top. So let's watch today's weekly candle close. Close above 1570 for that trend reversal to go higher. Tracker.
Let's see. I just want to share my Rocket Lab chart real quick before going to a new one. Rocket Lab, originally I had caution from this blue band from below. It just blew right through it. So now I'm thinking that that's where it's going to test back to it. I looked at a 618-382 kind of situation right here. So I'm predicting the 1382 at 54.58. I'm already wondering if this wick right here wasn't already it because it's stuck under the 1618 retracement level on the left side. So maybe it hits 54.58. Maybe it doesn't. It just opens and starts going down. I think it's going to have to hit this 43.42 one more time before it can go higher. So I'm thinking maybe on a 16-hour chart, it'll take a couple of days at least and give this Ichimoku baseline time to catch up to about this level. So look for a pullback soon on Rocket Lab, just a little one before going higher. And like Matt, my 238 is 83.80. I think he said about $85 or so. My 2618 is at 90, so it's somewhere. His level is somewhere between my 238 and the 2618. But from where price is right now, for example, if you had never owned this, damn the torpedoes, bought it right now, I think it should go 62% higher, even if it does drop back down to 45.71. Okay, and then let's see. They wanted your lemonade. Oh, let's see. Do I have GNS? Is that Genius? It is Genius. Well, this will be fun because I haven't looked at this chart in a long time. Let's see. In fact, it's been so long. I built it like in an 8-hour chart or maybe a 4-hour chart. Let's see how I did. I was looking for 245. It did kind of oscillate in this zone here. It hasn't made it 245 yet. It's still stuck in the blue zone under the 886. It pushed through the 50% right here at $1. Found support. I'm not sure what it's waiting for. Yeah, I'm still looking for 245 on Genius. So from where price is right now, it's about 67-ish% higher to get to 245. I'll just move it a little further in time. I'm going to do my, I know you asked for Matt's lemonade. I like lemonade too. It's very sweet and tart and delicious. And I've got pets. I like their pet insurance. My target is 51.25 still. Last time we looked at this, it was 35% higher. Now it is 24% higher to reach my 51.25. And then, normally it goes to the 236 after that, but because of the new flavor 2025, I think I'm just going to say it only comes down to the 382 at 40.96 next before going on. Oh, I'm on an 8-hour chart. Blah. How quaint. Okay. To the, this probably might go to the 1382 actually. So yeah, I like lemonade from here to go higher. DFDV. I love that one. I was in that. I think I still am in that one. DFDV.
Yeah, that's the one I did that you thought was a crypto.
It is. Yeah. How did I just didn't see that.
I don't know how you didn't catch that one. Yeah.
I was like only half listening. I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do next. And DeFi Development Corporation. My target for this is up here at the 764. Is that too greedy? Should I think about 382, 236? You can see I've been analyzing the hell out of it. We're not down here anymore, that's for sure. Let's look for 764, 382, or maybe 618. That makes more sense, actually. I've been seeing this a lot now. 618, 382. So 4605 before it has to do a test back. I'll be keeping an eye out for that. Let me just put an alert right there. Let's see. You want to go, Matt? I'll
just show my lemonade. My lemonade.
I see a lot of IRENs, or it's Max asking for IREN 3 times.
Yeah, I'll do IREN after this too.
Cool.
Lemonade, it's still resistance, but it was a beautiful breakout backtest of the cloud, so this is good, right? Just got rejected at the 4401. Now it could be ready to continue to the journey higher and maybe even try to break this $43, $44 zone. So it's just range bound, in my opinion. It could stay range bound actually for some time because the 45-degree angle is here. It could just be bouncing in this range and just gravitate to that 45 over time before really trying to go higher. So I'm not really convinced yet it wants to break out just yet, but it's a bullish chart. So just give it time and it probably will. But it's in a range. That's all it is. And the range right now is basically the 37, 38 zone up to the 44. That's the range. And I'll do IREN as well. And IREN, we can see that this chart is continuing to the 886 above. And it's just went there kind of in a straight line. So the closer it gets to 1935, the more cautious I need to be up there because it's not really guaranteed to break out, right? But once it does, it's kind of got zero resistance until all-time highs. So this could be a very, very, very good thing when it happens. But in the meantime, we can just see this is a lot of empty space here. So this kind of ultimately means on the high time frame, this is basically your range. So if it ever chose to go back down to 14, it could easily do that, right? Because, yes, this is a Bitcoin miner. It could do that. It could do whatever it wants. They're very volatile. But right now, the momentum is still there, and I think it can carry the way to the 1935 first before any kind of big rejection. And just the closer it gets there, the more cautious I'll get. So, Tracker, back to you.
All right. I've got Game Square holdings here. And I'm just doing a quick 618, 382, 1382, 100, 2382. Sing along with me, everybody. 764, 382, 1382, 100, 2382.
867 5309.
Yeah, exactly. Jenny. I got her number off the wall. Let's see. For a good time. Game Square Holdings is in this triangle here where, it's created a down-sloping resistance trend with an upward-sloping support trend. Once it makes its way out of this, I think it wants to go to 465 now, which kind of lines up with, the 1764. Maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe this is, look, 618, 382. No, I don't want to do it. 1236. Yeah, I'm going to do it. 764. All right, so maybe this. So $4.33 is where it really wants to go next. After, it's already done the 50% and all that. So yeah, 142% higher to get to $44.33. Test back to about $3.27, 318 on my fib extensions. And then after that, it's basically like it does the wave 5 is basically all of wave 3 again, like a measured move off of the wave 4 bottom. So then it's just like stacking the whole thing again. And then you get maybe, between 670 and 734 is my 2382 at 702. Let's see, from where prices are now, that would give you a gain of 300% for game if it does all that. And then, you guys don't realize this because you've only seen this chart. When I pull this back to a monthly chart, and that's kind of insane because game, they weren't doing, the crypto treasury stuff back then. But if you just look at the lifetime history of the chart, we're not even, let's see, you go away, $6.55. We're not even to, it's 11.4, the 1111. So if it can get to above 55 and test back to a support, we could start exploring these other fibs. And just to get to the 382 is 4,000%. Just to test halfway back to its all-time high is $27 or 5,300%. So anyway, this is one that I'm just buying, and I'm gonna try not to trade it out of this one. I know I keep saying that, and then I've got like an angel on one shoulder and a demon on the other, and they're always telling me, one says just be like Matt and hold, and the other one says no, trade it. You could be missing out on a big. Anyway, you get the idea. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I see requests for SoFi. I already did SoFi, but I'll do Oscar for you guys. And Oscar, I think the main thing to do when people start to panic is to look at the monthly chart, right? The monthly chart really tells you a story, and it's not a broken story. So I know people are panicking, and it's technically kind of still just an inside candle from last month, It's just reversing what it did last month, right? Going back to the mean, the baseline is right down there, right around 1420s. There's still 13 days left in the month. It can do whatever it wants in there. Also, if we just drew a black line and just didn't even look at any other indicators really around this price, what do you see? You just see price basically bouncing. Even back here in the beginning of time in 2021, it was kind of a support before it broke down, bearish engulfing right through it. And then it kind of broke out, flipping it to support, right? So it's a previous support that was lost, V bottom, breakout, backtest. It's in the zone, guys. It's in the zone that's appropriate for accumulation, in my opinion. And I think it is fine, right? Nothing is worrisome out there. Just don't be bullish at resistance. That's all. If you're listening to those influencers that are like, yeah, it's at $20, let's go, it's going to the moon. Well, that's the 786, guys. This really has proven month over month, it doesn't really want to flip it to support yet. And the reason kind of why I think it sold off is because it never made a higher high from back in September of 2024. So if it couldn't go higher than before with a higher high, then that's not really a break of structure to the upside. So it just went back to retest support. And I think there is too much euphoria up here at resistance in the 20s as well. So just give it some time.
My crows have breaking news here.
Oh my God, crows.
Odin's crows have just told me that Grab Holdings Limited is breaking out of my impulsive pattern here.
Let's take a look at Grab. But yeah, Oscar's fine, guys. Oscar's fine. Just watch that $14 zone. But yeah, we can look at Grab right here. Yeah, it's breaking out. And the reason why, it's finally looking like it's making a higher high, right? It wants to make a higher high. And this is what I wanted Oscar to do, but Oscar never did it, right? And we can see this higher high right here is finally getting broken pre-market. So I think the next is going to make a higher high from back in February. And then after that, it's probably $6 and $7. So yeah, Oscar, beautiful breakout back test of the cloud. Now it's continuation. Now it's ready to go. And Tracker, I think that'll be the last one I'll do. So you can go ahead and take us out with whatever you want.
All right. Well, we didn't do Tesla today.
So go ahead. Tesla, there's no change for me. There's no change for Tesla. I've done it the whole week. It's just been in the same range. So
I know. It's waiting for earnings. It's waiting for Elon to speak. The earnings call. So here's my grab chart. Basically the 1-2 is over. last time I looked at Grab, it was still kind of like around here. I thought it could still make it to 444, but it looks like that was it right there. That was all of it. So now it's heading up to my what did I touch? The 1382 at $7.22 next. I kind of have that 20. It could get sent back by $6.92 at this 29.732 on the retrace side. But somewhere between 692 and 722 is where I expect it'll hit the next resistance. Sends it back down to 614 or maybe 595. And then the crazy thing is the overall chart, it's just trying to do a 382, 236. And you can see my ABC here in brown. So it wants to go to $12 just to get a retrace of, it's just retracing back towards its previous high. All right, the 618 was 1203 from up here to down here. Okay, so Grab looking for resistance. I mean, it's just starting to move now. So what that move is about 30% higher to if it gets to 722. Now Tesla, I just want to show you on kind of brand new fresh chart that's got nothing on it except I put 420.69 right here. We got earnings coming up here it's after market close next week on the 23rd. And just looking at the this is a linear history of Tesla in 16-hour candlesticks, and it's just oscillating around this trend right here. But it's going to have some wild breakouts along the way sometimes. And at some point, this does go more parabolic. I know you're like, but it already went parabolic. No. At some point, it's going to go really parabolic. I wish I could tell you when that was, but it's going to look something like, it's got to go to 1,000, right? It's got to look something like this. Oh, now I just want to do it like this. So if you just assume it's going to 1,000, you just start down here at 0 or 1, go to 1,000. And let's see. Oh, well, this is why it got rejected at 488 because it couldn't quite get over that 50% fib. It gets sent back down, went all the way back to the 236. See how this works, Matt? It's really amazing. We oscillated around the 298 at 298. That's funny. Oh, because it's 0 to 100. And so, the 382 is $382. The 50% is $500. The 618 is $618. I kind of like this. So just look for each of these levels. Once we get over $500, it should want to go to $618. And it'll fight with 786 back to 702 before it finally gets over 886 and hits $1,000. And then after that, it's $1,200, $1,400, $1,600 a share, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, this one goes all the way up. Anyway, you get the idea, guys. Earnings call is what the market's waiting for. It just acts as like a big backstop, a bottleneck for price action until Elon speaks and says, hey, guess what? We've got a sub $30,000 car, $25,000 car coming. Robotaxi's up and running. We're servicing Austin with a big penis. If you saw that map, the service area is hilarious. Grok's going into the cars. They've got autonomous robots. All these things. Tesla is going to be, it's going to have a euphoric end because we're all going to have a euphoric end when we go to the next golden age of humanity where money doesn't mean anything, energy is free, and robots do all the work for us. And all we have to do
we can upload our brains into robot bodies.
Exactly. And we can just, all we have to do is imagine what kind of future we want, and then the robots will make it for us. So there you go. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah. With that, we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great day. And let's see if crypto can do beautiful, bullish, all-time high closes on Sunday.
Yep. Have a great weekend, everybody. I can't wait for the earnings call where they announce the Tesla RV. That's what that's my dream. Like a sleeper RV electric cabin. It's just like a lovely little efficiency hotel room on wheels. That's what I want.
Would be
a habitat, if you will. A personal habitat on wheels. All right. Thanks, Matt. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Good luck out there.